Hey YouTube, this is EmoKid1232232. Now, I did a little something in my Gravekeeper Storm video about 5 cards. Yes, the 5 cards that I was talking about. And I did have someone comment and they guessed it right. They were the 5 pieces of Exodia. So, that's it then. Today I'm going to do a deck list and I have 2 cards up for grabs. I don't really want these cards anymore, so, if you want something for them, just post your offers. Um, I am looking for a Spirit of the Pharaoh and the first sarcophagus to complete the deck I'm going to show you guys. And I would also like some Neospatian fusions. If you have any Neospatian fusions, I would like those. So the 2 cards up for grabs are Divine Wind of the Mist Valley. It's a field spell. It really helps out if you use a Mist Valley deck or anything like that. Um, Basically, once per turn, you can, yeah, if a face-up wind monster you control, you can return it to your hand, and especially summon one level 4 or wind monster, which is really nice. And then my ultimate, Gaia, the Plate of the Earth, I really don't want him anymore. His effect is kind of a drawback if you don't run a rock deck with him. So, he's part of my Pharaoh's Destruction deck right now. That's the one I'm going to show you guys, but I really don't need him. So, if anybody wants him, he's an ultimate guy of the plate of the earth. So, 2800, and all you have to do to summon is remove 2 rock monsters from play. And then, yeah. And then if you if you can't during your standby phase remove 1 rock monster from play, he's sent to the graveyard. So he really works with the Impenetrable Fortress deck, the structure deck, which has Exiled Master of the Guard. I kind of tweaked that deck with Pharaoh's Destruction, so he's kind of a good card in my Pharaoh's Destruction deck. But overall, I really don't need him anymore. So if you guys want, just send me some offers. I gave you what I wanted and stuff, so just send me some offers and I can do that. Okay, now for deck, it's kind of standard and it's not the best deck in the world, but it'll do because it's a fun deck to use and I really enjoy using it. I took it to my locals and I beat the crap out of most of the people that I used it against. I didn't make it to the finals because the one time I tried, I got all sacrificial monsters in my hand and I couldn't do anything for like 4 turns. And by that time, my opponent already had my life points down to like 1700, and then I was just toast from there. So, alright, so we'll start out with the actual deck. We'll start out with one of the key cards of the deck called the Mummies. This deck relies on zombies, rocks, zombies and rock monsters, and a couple of fiends. So, but mostly zombies. So I like to run one of these called the Mummies, just so if I don't have any zombie monsters out, I can special summon them. Okay, and then one of my favorite zombie monsters of all time is Pharow Servant. Pharow Servant got totally looked down on in the Yu-Gi-Oh! GX series. They used him once, and that was it. And to me, that wasn't really worth it. So, Pharow Servant is one of my favorite cards. It's also why I'm waiting for a Spirit of the Pharaoh too. Cryo Sphinx. He's good too. By the way, I don't have my 2 shield and swords right now. But once I get them, they will be put into this deck, and I will be using this deck as kind of, if I want to use it as a defense deck, I can. But also too, if I want to use it as a beater deck, because if I get a shield and sword out, his attack is 2400, which is really nice. So, Hero Sphinx, great card. Dark Assailant. Dark Assailant is kind of one of those low zombie monsters that I really like, even though he only has 1200 attack points. He's really nice. I think he looks cool. Uh, Trap Dust Shoot is really great to get on the first draw, because I can totally screw my opponent over with it, because if my opponent has 4 more cards in their hand, then I can look at their hand and get a monster card from their hand and send it to the graveyard. It's really nice. Dragon Zombie is just kind of a fun zombie I threw in here. Ushioni, one of my favorite cards in the Yu-Gi-Oh game is Ushioni. Love this card. Great card. And the Earl of Demise, I like the Bakura cards that I have in here too. I have a Dark Necrofear on the way. It is not here though, so there is a Dark Necrofear in here. The Union pair of Zombie, Decayed Commander and Zombie Tiger. Really nice, because then if I destroy a monster while Decayed Commander is equipped with Zombie Tiger, I can make my opponent discard 1 card, I think. Yeah. Giant Axe Mummy, again, he's more for defense, but once I get my 2 shields and swords in here, he'll be really nice too. The Gross Ghost of Field Dreams, again, another defense card. Oh, by the way, this deck kind of relies on Earth monsters that flip face up. We'll get to the card combos that rely on Earth monsters pretty soon. Yeah, eventually. Okay. So then, the next card we have is Invader of Darkness. Invader of Darkness is probably the highest attack points in this, unless I get my shield and sword. Because I have Exode Master of the Garden here. And so, if I get my 2 shields and swords, Exode Master of the Guard will become my key attacker. Plus, he's really nice because he has 4,000 defense, so he's kind of hard to get past. And every time an Earth monster flips up, key thing why we have Earth monsters in this deck, my opponent takes 1,000 points of damage. So he's really nice. Then I have 2 Armored Zombies just for kicks. I like these cards. They're really fun, just to mess around with. Yami, like I said, I rely on some fiends, so Yami kind of helps out with that. Tribute to the Doomed is really nice. I can, throw out a card, like one of my crappy cards, like Judgment of the Desert, and just get rid of it right away. And then, Tribute to the Doomed, I can get rid of another card, so it's really nice. Order to Charge, if I have a normal monster, I can select one of my opponent's monsters. That monster is destroyed and my normal monster is destroyed. So, it's really nice. Mask of Weakness, if my opponent attacks me, I can flip this up and they lose 700 attack points for their monster, so it's really nice. Soul Absorbing Bone Tower, if my opponent if I control two or more zombies, sorry, that includes him. He can't be selected as an attack card target, and then each time I summon a zombie monster, or each time I special summon, sorry, I can discard 2 cards from my opponent's top of the deck. Premature Burial, really nice, because then I can special summon back cards from the graveyard, so it works really good with Card of Safe Return, because then I can get cards back into my hand, which is really nice. Okay, and then, Bottomless Shifting Sand. It's a nice card because you get to destroy the face-up monster with the highest attack, so if it's not you, it's really good. But if you have 4 or less cards, it's destroyed, so it's kind of crappy. Then the next one we have is Legacy Hunter. Legacy Hunter is really okay. He's not the best card in the world. It'd be kind of nice, if they gave him a little bit more attack points, because if he destroys a face-down defense position monster, Your opponent has to discard one random card from their hand, which is really nice and would be really nice. But he only has 1,000 life attack points, so good luck with that. Pyramid Turtle, like I said, this deck kind of relies on zombies, so I threw one of him in here, and he's nice to get out some of my Earth zombies that we'll talk about. Um, yeah, let's speak of the devil. Earth zombie right here. Wandering Mummy. He's nice, you know, if you flip him face up. Um, let's see. Yeah, you can just flip him face up and face down. It's really fun. Especially because he's an Earth. And so, it's really nice. And you can when you use this effect, you can shuffle all face down defense position monsters on the field, and then return them to their face down defense position. So it's really nice. Two poison mummies. You know, if my opponent attacks them, flip them face up, and then boom, 500 life point damage. Great Spirit, another card that relies on Earth flipping monsters. Um, Flipped up, you know, he gets to choose an attack and defense, and he gets to copy that card. So it's really nice. Reload, basically crap for hand, play that. This helps if my opponent is going to attack me. It's Desert Sunlight. Um, so let's say my opponent attacks me, boom, flip up Desert Sunlight, and all my monsters are switched to defense position. It's really nice. Overpowering Eyes is nice, since I rely on a lot of zombie monsters, and if they have less than, let's see, what is it, 2,000? I can select them and they can attack directly this turn, so it's really nice. Chaos Greed, I'm thinking about throwing out, so let's just do that now. Because it wasn't a really helpful card, so I just decided to take it out. And my deck didn't rely on removing monsters, so it's just kind of in there as a placeholder. Reasoning, you know, this card's really nice. My opponent selects a monster level, and I keep drawing till I draw one that is higher than that, or I don't know what the guidelines are for it, but anyway. Then I have 3 regenerating mummies. You know, they're kind of the beater of the deck. They're really nice. They have 1,800, and if they're sent to my graveyard by a card effect from my hand, I can just put them back in my hand. So they're really nice. I got 2 Royal Keepers. These are Earth flipping zombies again, which are really nice. And so when he's flipped face up, he gains 300 attack points, which is really nice. Because he's at 1900 and I can still use Overpowering Eyes effect on him. Non-aggressive area is, well, it stops my opponent from basically summoning for an entire turn, which is really nice. It kind of leaves him wide open. Mirror of Otis for the 6 Samurai stuff and Black Wings. Or whenever my opponent summons a monster from their deck, I can just flip this up and draw one card. It's really nice, and destroy the monster. Nubian Guard, you know, he's just there. He's kind of cool. I really like him. Timidity, basically my opponent can activate spells and traps for a turn. Dark Snake Syndrome, great. Takes away multiples of 200 each turn it increases, and takes that away from your opponent's life points. Reckless Greed, I don't know. This card's kind of okay, I guess. I don't really like this card. It does get me some draw power, though. Dark Dust Spirit. I don't know if I'm going to keep Dark Dust Spirit in here because it doesn't seem very beneficial for me. Just Desserts. You guys know what that card does. Mind Crush. Basically it's a ban card. I know this card probably shouldn't be in here, but anyway. Lets me call out a monster if it's in my opponent's hand. They lose. They'll lose a monster. Night Assailant. He's another flip effect, so he's really nice. Works with my deck. Swarm of Scarabs, if I get to flip him face up, you can destroy one of my opponent's monsters. 2 Red Eyes, they're just kind of fun cards. I like to keep them in here. And then the Dice Jar and Guardian Sphinx pair. Dice Jar is really nice to use, and so is Guardian Sphinx. Alright guys, so that's it. I gotta wrap up real quick, so I will see you guys later.